didn't.
I see.
So Ofori Atta brought this ruling upon himself.
But this particular ruling by the Human Rights Court today is coming on the heels of what his wife put out a couple of days ago and in that interview, and then also the letter that she wrote as well. But how do you see this matter progressing in the coming days, bearing in mind that he's already been declared a wanted man by the special prosecutor? It's on his website, and then also a wanted man by Interpol. Counsel.
I've already mentioned that the interview by his wife, Professor Angela, she's Angela Ofori Atta, right?
Yeah.
Didn't advance Ofori Atta's case. Yeah, the interview didn't advance his case at all. I don't see why it did. And if anything at all, it actually even hurt his case a little bit. I'll go straight to that. The fact that showed that Ofori Atta was not being candid all along. His wife says that they knew all along that that's before the 21st March. So between the two, any time before 21st March, she says that they knew all along that if the diagnostic surgery, that's a simple one, the biopsy, to determine if he had cancer or not, all right, if it was done on the 20th, 21st March, and it proved that Ofori Atta had cancer, there was subsequently going to be a major surgery. These are, not her direct words, but essentially this is what she said. I'm stressing on the fact that even before Ofori Atta went to do the biopsy, his wife is saying that they knew that if the biopsy, let me call it, turned out positive, that's say he had cancer, then they knew there would be a major surgery. So if you knew this, why would you present a very difficult case, a very major surgery to the OSP for 20th and 21st March? A biopsy is not a major surgery. A biopsy is not what Ofori Atta blew it up to look like. Yes, so his wife's interview rather even reinforced the fact that Ofori Atta was not being candid. Yes, and we are trying to be very objective. Let's not forget, I'm the same person who supported Ofori Atta's argument when OSP first declared him wanted on the 12th of February, because for me, I said that once there was evidence that before he left this country, he had given information to the previous chief of staff and the current one, then for me, he wasn't a fugitive from justice. That much, I still stand by that. But we've moved on. After that one, then it takes a long adjournment from February 18th to 2nd June. 2nd June comes, and then Ofori Atta is singing a different tune again. It's just not on. So he's brought all of this onto himself.
I see, Counsel, and I'm sure that today you've seen that news of the Interior Minister granting the extradition request by the United States, and we're going to put that on the screen in a bit, of some 4 Ghanaians who are reported to have been involved in the romance scam, and then also what has been described as a large-scale criminal enterprise, the cyber crime enterprise, essentially. And the Interior Minister granting that particular extradition request, and the details as we have it captured in that letter that has gone viral now, and then also the involvement of the Federal Bureau of Investigation and others as well in tracking these 4 individuals who have been charged already, and they're going to be extradited to the United States because of their involvement in these crimes, which has been put to the tune of over $100 million that they have defrauded individuals and companies in the United States. And then when this matter came up, you've had some persons who are commenting relating to the extradition notice and also that request by the special prosecutor of Ofori Atta, who is also reported to be receiving medical treatment in the United States. Is there any specific correlation to how this extradition to a process is playing out in the case of these 4 individuals, and whether or not it's going to be easy for the extradition of Ofori Atta to Ghana as the special prosecutor is seeking?
I will agree partially. The part I agree with is that, yes, we can also ask the US to extradite Ofori Atta to Ghana. Yes. And that's provided for, I mean, so we have the extradition law, right? We've always had the extradition law from the 60s, right? And I'm sure even in the colonial times, there will be a previous one. Okay. But this one, there's extradition law from the 60s, right? Yes. And we have been, as you rightly mentioned, extraditing people to the US. And so once all the condition precedents are met, ordinarily the US would agree to extradite him. So he first has to be arrested. Then once he's arrested, then they have him. Then Ghana will do the but nothing stops Ghana from starting the extradition proceedings. Actually, he doesn't have to be arrested before we start the application. So the OSP said they are in the process of doing it. And Attorney General is also in the process of doing it. Yes. So the only part I don't agree with the opinion being shared is where they say it's easy. In law, nothing is ever easy like that until you succeed. So if we succeed in a relatively very short time, then we say, oh, it was an easy process. But now that we've not yet succeeded, we cannot sit here. We don't have the right crystal ball to be able to look into it and predict that it will be easy. So for me, I think, well, it's early days here to say it is easy, right? Especially as you know that Ofori Atta has come into a lot of money from the Ghana's public funds. It's come into a lot of money. It's public knowledge that each time we borrowed the bonds, Ofori Atta's company, Data Bank, made money. And that's for his family and the Akufo-Addo's family, their relations. So it's public knowledge that they've made a lot of money. We know it's also public knowledge that Enterprise Insurance, another company he has big interest in, got a lot of public contracts, etc. SIC almost collapsed, etc. So once he's made a lot of money, you can trust that he's going to hire top-notch lawyers, crack lawyers in the US to fight this out. That's how come I don't want to say that it's going to be an easy fight to bring him down to Ghana. So I would rather hold my horses, reserve judgment, and then let's see how it pans out.
We'll definitely see how it pans out and how the coming days will look like on this. Well, Martin Kpebu, appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us. He's private legal practitioner, Martin Kpebu. There, so live here.